We live in the golden era of toy engineering. Kids today have access to the most innovative, gorgeous, mind boggling, and expensive toys. And yet, what is your toddler playing with today? Lanterns from the kitchen, an empty cardboard box, or a piece of Amazon bubble wrap? As a clinical psychologist, I see so many parents overwhelmed by social media, convinced by the fact that they need to be buying the latest brain boosting games, have a pristine, picture perfect playroom just so that their child doesn't fall behind. But your toddler's obsession with the spoon, with the ladle, with just simple toys isn't just a glitch, it's a feature. Healthy brain development does not require second mortgage. It's actually built on surprisingly simple and totally free foundations. Let's try and strip this internet guilt today. We'll talk about the 6 toddler must-haves that boost healthy emotional and psychological development in your children. None of them require batteries. First up, predictable connection time. Notice that I didn't say constant connection because it's almost impossible for us as parents. Children and especially toddlers thrive on emotional safety, and the best and absolute way to make sure that happens is to build small but reliable anchors of attention throughout the day. Think of it as an emotional gas tank. As and when the gas tank is full, children have the confidence to go off and play independently. But as the tank starts getting empty, that's when the clinginess and meltdowns begin. So, what does it look like throughout the day? 10 minutes of uninterrupted play with your child, where you follow the child's lead, even if it means doing the same activity repeated number of times, creating and singing a silly song as you do their diaper change or cleanup, having a pillow fight as and when you have free time just to make sure they build connection with you. Because remember, connection builds emotional security. Let's talk about the toy aisle. From a brain development perspective, we need to look at more open-ended toys that are 90% child and only 10% toy. In other words, the toy does nothing unless the child makes it happen. So, instead of plastic structures that do only one thing, think of blocks, magnetic tiles, where the child can create a garage, a birthday cake, a pretend playroom, a pretend kitchen, and do so many other things that can be created. Instead of toys that can talk and flash, give them more of pretend kitchen items, just silk scarves or dupattas. My daughters love to use my dupattas and scarves for tug of war, for a pretend sari, or as a bedsheet for their toys, sleepover, and so on and so forth. And instead of electronic learning pads, more of dolls, more animal figurines, or just crayons and paper. Here's a clinical secret. Toys that feature blinking, flashing, have a lot of robotic noises, do all the entertaining for the children. And it's wonderful too. But excessive and long-term use of these toys rob them of their creativity and also reduces the sustained attention span. Instead, simple toys make their brain work harder, building on problem solving, creativity, and also language. Simple toys, deeper play. Toddlers live in a world where they have zero control over anything. They are told when to sleep, when to get up, what to wear, what to eat, when to go, when not to go, what to do and what not to do. And such lack of control can feel incredibly unsettling. Toddlers don't require a rigid time-to-time schedule, but rather they desperately need a predictable rhythm. When the child's brain knows what to expect next, it can stop scanning for uncertainty and rather focus on learning. Some easy anchors to implement. A simple 3-step bedtime routine. Brush, wash, story, and then sleep. A cleanup song, a transition song, or a countdown where the child knows that the transition is about to happen from lunch to play or play to lunch. When life is predictable, the power struggles reduce dramatically because the routine becomes the boss and not you. If you have a toddler running up and down the stairs, bouncing off the walls, wrestling with the sofa cushion, congratulations, you have an absolutely normal toddler. Movement for this age group is not optional, it is regulatory. When you have a child misbehaving, hitting, throwing things, it is the child's nervous system crying out for sensory input. The action plan. We need to give them opportunities for what we call heavy work, wherein they push and pull their muscles. It can be an impromptu living room dance party. It can be just running up and down the stairs, pushing each other on their toy car or toy cycle, going out for a walk where they can jump and run. Before you label a behavior as a discipline problem, ask yourself, has my child had the opportunity today to move their heavy muscles as yet? Remember, movement supports emotional regulation. Books and narrative co-regulation. You do not need to flash a sight word flashcard at your 18-month-old. Rather, what you need to do is talk to them, narrate your word to them, and read with them. But here's the trick. We want to shift how we talk to them, and especially at times when they are upset. So instead of saying, "Oh, come on, you're fine, it was just a biscuit and it broke," try saying, "You're frustrated and angry because you wanted the biscuit as a whole and it broke." By narrating the reality, you are not spoiling them or encouraging the tantrum. Rather, you're giving them the emotional vocabulary to understand themselves and also express themselves, so that tomorrow, instead of hitting and biting, they know and can say, "I am mad, I'm angry, I'm disappointed, or I'm sad." And that is the beginning of emotional intelligence. Emotion coaching. This brings us to the ultimate toddler essential. If there's only one line you can take back from this entire video, let it be this. Toddlers are not giving you a hard time. They are having a hard time. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for logic and self-control, is literally under construction for all our toddlers. So when you try and cut their sandwiches into triangles instead of squares and they're having a meltdown, they're not trying to manipulate you. It is their brain short-circuiting. Here's the tricky part. How do you hold boundary with empathy? Emotion coaching means you stay calm while they storm, and that's very, very difficult. You can start by telling them that I understand you're angry and upset, but it's not okay to hit. So I'm going to be holding you to stop you from hitting and keeping us both safe. You validate the feeling, but definitely hold the behavioral boundary strong. This is how emotional regulation is caught and not just taught. Let's take a deep breath and officially cross off a few things from your to-do list. You do not need an aesthetically pleasing playroom, hundreds of toys filling up every corner of your house, a packed schedule of structured educational activities, or be a perfect, never gets frustrated parent. What your toddler actually needs to thrive is beautifully simple. Safety, connection, space to move, open-ended play, and an imperfect caregiver who is present for them at all times. Healthy toddler development isn't built through the toys you buy. It's built through the quiet, everyday moments of safety and connection that you're already providing them. Give yourself some credit. You're already doing a wonderful job. If you want more psychology-backed parenting advice that is practical, compassionate, and relatable, hit the subscribe button. Let's chat in the comments. What is that one toddler essential? A toy, routine, or a snack that keeps you sane on a daily basis? Do let me know. See you in the next video. Until then, keep parenting with all your heart.